Hey, what's up, guys? It's Vilify here. Today we're going to be taking a look at probably the hardest red zone mission that they've dropped to date. This one is beating red zone Broly with every typing of extreme class unit within here, and we got to do the kind of the rainbow extreme team, right? So what makes this tricky and specific is the fact that we kind of have to go ahead and take a look at this through a lens of like, I'm trying to explain this, right? We have to run this on the cooler team, and the fact that we have to run this through a cooler team is the fact that we have to worry about having an STR unit as our leader, right? So it comes down to RNG. We need that double, we need that triple super from our boy LR Cooler so we don't die in the last phase. But thankfully, this worldwide download celebration has made this team very viable. AGL Metal Cooler is very good, is a good option, right? Like, if he gets hit 5 times, he's fully built up. He's hitting 8 million attack stats. He has 500k defense or whatever. He'll look just fine. He can take a normal, and that's all that matters. We have, what's it called? Extreme Tech Janemba. He has his guaranteed guard, so we're chill there. We have LR Janemba with his guaranteed guard, and, I can't really sugarcoat this. It comes down to RNG, right? There's no team that you can just run this on and just completely tank your way through it, not die, not tank the AoE. That's just not how this event works, right? This specific stage. You have to kind of pull some strings, get a little bit lucky, and then go from there. So you see here what we're doing with the rotations is we're running a LR Janemba with LR Cooler, and then we've got Extreme AGL Golden Frieza with his damage reduction with another LR Cooler. So we're essentially just going to make LR Cooler kind of just carry hard through here, but what we do is we have enough units that have defensive gimmicks and stuff like that to kind of, kind of stall, right? Like, just not die. That's essentially what we're looking for, right? It's like, let Cooler do the damage and have our boy, have our other guys just not die. And that's where Golden Frieza comes into hand with that 90% damage reduction. We have to make sure we stay above a certain HP threshold for him to stay up, but I guess what I'll go ahead and do while we're here, I know you're going to hear me clicking for a moment, but what we're going to do while we're here is we're going to go ahead and pull up the movie bosses category and kind of talk about a couple different options that you can do. I found this one to be a little bit tricky. Like I said, this one took about 2 days of attempts, so nothing too bad. Usually with this stuff, if you give me, unless it's like just completely unfair, you give me 6 to 7 tries, I'll probably figure it out. Again, like, this, the way they built this, it's just completely based on RNG, so if you run the team that I'm running here, I can promise you that eventually you'll get it. It's just a matter of how lucky do you get with the AoE, right? It could take somebody, if you run this exact team, if you have it duped out the way I have it duped out, you'll probably get it within, a week, I'd say, just depending on the RNG, because the dupes go as follows. LR Janemba has 1, and then, so here's actually a really good place to, you could have paused it there, but I went ahead and showed the dupes. So the rainbow units were AGL Golden Frieza, AGL Metal Cooler, Tech Janemba, and that's it, right? So I have 3 rainbow units here, and then LR Cooler is 55%, LR Janemba is 69%, and then Int Broly is 79%. And Broly is built with full additional, not much crit, right? I think he might have like 3 crit or something like that. But my LR Cooler has like 5 crit and then 4 additional, or maybe 5 additional now, but I have to go ahead and give him a level 5 silver crit or additional equipment, because that's what I'm going to go ahead and throw on him with the hidden potential system. But here is where things actually are a little bit tricky, right? Because as you could see, we're already off on the wrong foot. Like, this is like a sign of a bad run, right? Like, you bring the Bulma support memory to kind of save you in case, you have an unlucky break and you can't heal. What you do is you run the Bulma support memory to kind of get your HP all the way back up to the top. But that did not happen here, so we had to go ahead and waste that support memory, which was unfortunate, but it is what it is. We managed to kind of make sure we did that, and then we took a little bit of no damage right here, rather. I'm tripping, sorry. Try to focus on 2 things at once. But 8.25 million right there from Cooler. That attack stat can get higher, and yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the movie bosses category, because I got a little bit caught up here. But you guys can just kind of go ahead and watch as this run plays out in the background here. Let's just kind of break it down from each category, right? So on the AGL portion, if you're on the JP side when it comes to LRs, right? So let me rephrase that, right? So what we're going to do, let's go ahead and break down our leaders. We have four very capable leaders here that you could run in LR Turles, LR Cooler, AGL Turles, Int Broly, and LR Janemba. So you have four very capable leaders if you need to run either of them, whichever one you have, right? Sub leaders, ignore those, they're all unusable anyway. The only AGL LR on this category is Golden Frieza, so if you're on JP and you have him, feel free to use him. Tech Broly, Extreme Tech Broly, is not usable in here. Just defensively, he just does not cut it anymore. He was like okay in ESBR back in like, 2020 because of just the amount of additionals he does, but he's just kind of a run-of-the-mill unit at this point. There's a lot of units that do what he does in a lot better of a way now. When it comes to extreme int LRs, we have Bojack and the Metal Cooler Army. I would say not any of those are usable. I would say either of those guys just are not good enough at this point. When it comes to the STR side, we have LR Cooler, must run. LR Turles, maybe, probably not. That AGL portion, he's going to get shredded. And then STR Broly is probably going to be the same way. So I'd say of the STR LRs, I would say it's just LR Cooler that you could run in here and be safe with it, right? Physical LRs, we have Janemba and Broly Shilai and Lemmo. Shout out to Lemmo, making him a big bad bosses unit. But LR Janemba, again, if you have him, I would say he is a must-run. He nullifies the AoE. Obviously, the other two units next to him are going to take damage, but considering he is type disadvantage, that is absolutely colossal, right? If we want to talk about TURs on the extreme side for movie bosses, I would say AGL Golden Frieza is a must-run. AGL Metal Cooler is a very good unit, and you're going to see exactly why here soon. And AGL Turles you can also get away with. I'd say Android 13 isn't good enough. And that's honestly really like in terms of usable units, like think about it, right? We have the free-to-play Metal Cooler, we have Wrathful Broly, we have the other AGL Turles, we have free-to-play Cooler, and we have like full power Bojack. Like none of those units are usable, right? On the extreme tech side of things, the only three units I would recommend that you run on this side is Extreme Tech Golden Frieza, Extreme Tech Janemba, and then maybe Extreme Tech First Form Frieza that slowly transforms and stacks. On the Extreme Int side of things, I would just say it is Extreme Int Broly from the first movie, the Saiyan Day unit. I don't see any other unit here being usable. Very slim chance you can run the Extreme Int Janemba. He unfortunately has aged past this event a little bit too much in my opinion. Maybe as a last-ditch option, but this really is, if you do not have the units on this team, you are really going to have a tough time. I would say it's almost not even worth attempting if you're missing a lot of these units, right? Because it's just 5 stones, so not the end of the world. But when it comes to the extreme STR TURs, this is unfortunately where, again, you run into a problem where I just don't see anything here that's going to be sustainable, right? Like I see Bojack, I see Extreme STR Janemba, I see the TUR Cooler, which obviously you're not running in here, he's just not good enough. And then when it comes to extreme physical TURs, it's just the same case, right? Maybe you could run physical Final Form Cooler, but he is going to get obliterated in that first phase, and I just don't see how you could recover from that. Maybe it's possible, you could say skill issue all you want, but I just don't see many runnable options here. For physical, I just feel like it's LR Janemba or bust. You know, this is when it comes to the movie bosses team. I suppose another alternative, if you guys have them, is to run the extreme, the Ginyu Force team, and kind of run them, right? If you have, especially if you have Jason Berger and Raccoon and Goldo, that is 100% a runnable option. There is like, I've seen the Ginyu Force no item the entire red zone, so you could definitely do it with the Ginyu Force team, but again, I just, like I said earlier, but I just have to put it in a disclaimer here that you are going to have to deal with just like overall, right? Like you're just gonna have to deal with the RNG. So when we come up to this specific part right here, you're gonna see that I get kind of caught into a dilemma. Do I want to run where are we at? Do I want to run, or do I want to use Cooler's active skill right here to nullify that first attack to make sure it's not an AoE? I go ahead and do it, and we just get the kill anyway, but I really had to think about it. I'm like, I don't know if this is worth it. It's going to be really close if I do that, so now we are into the proverbial gauntlet here, right? This is where it really gets tough. We have my Cooler, so what I think I try and do here is avoid the Dokkan attack, but I don't think it's possible. Because I know it's like, alright, let's pop a Whis, and then what I go ahead and do is I pop the Janemba active skill to get into this rage mode, right? It's like, do I skip it this turn? Yeah, I do, okay. So it's the next time you see this Janemba, I get the rage mode, right? Because at this point, it's like, we have the damage reduction, we're gonna get the Dokkan attack right here, I don't think I could have avoided it. And then that Dokkan attack is going to be doing like 8 million, right? So here we have a Whis, and Janemba nullifies this as well. So there's another kind of point for Janemba, right? So boom, boom, boom. We're going ahead and taking all this damage on the chin and not really getting anything here. So now you guys are going to see that we are doing the Dokkan attack for about 10 million. And unfortunately, my cooler does not have crits. So he only has the base level 5 crit, right? So it's a very slim chance that we're going to go ahead and get a crit here. But this is where I am a bit nervous with the cooler, as if he only supers once or twice and takes a super attack, it's a good chance that we are just going to take too much damage, right? Because this Broly super, at the end of the day, still is like 1.5 million or something like that, right? Like, it is one of the hardest hitting attacks in the game for sure. Not quite cell max, but still a very respectable attack stat that most units in the game just cannot survive without altercations, items, support, whatever it may be. And in this case, we do have a Whis active, so I'm not too worried, especially after 2 supers here. And you know, we did do 11 million damage, so that is quite a lot, but it's just, you'd want more, right? And then the same thing goes with this metal cooler. Maybe I'm just not running him right, but you know, he's just not hitting he's also not very built up, right? I haven't had a chance to let him get hit often. So now we're starting to see that attack stat go up. Like right here, we're over 6 million from a floater, which is very good. Then we have, this is like the kind of when the RNG comes into it, right? Like right here, we have Golden Frieza going ahead and taking all this damage. And then we have this, and then with the cooler, his over 2 million base attack stat, right? And then we have the support putting him over almost to 2.7 at this point. So we know that's going to be like an 11, 12 million attack stat. And Frieza right here is not going to take anything, right? Maybe 50k. No, we have a Whis, so this is definitely going to be double digits. That's 130% damage reduction. Boom. Yeah, double digits. And then we just want to make sure the cooler does like 3 or 4 supers, right? Because soon we're going to reach that point where it's like, oh boy, because we're going to be out of like a Whis. And you can just see how slowly we're doing damage, right? Like, when you're in here, you're just going to realize how quickly you miss having the LR gods. Because you can just see the damage we're doing. It's just nowhere near. Like, it's like, usually with the LR gods, it's like, okay, we're going to beat this in 3 turns. But with cooler, it's like, even if he does a quintuple super and crits on all of them, we're not getting out of here, right? Like, there's just no way. But, I mean, he does do a very respectable amount of damage here to the point where we can get it done within the next 2 turns. But, what we're going to have is next turn, this is like, so next turn is when the Whis wears off, right? And that's where things get really, really, really sketchy. And, you know, now I'm starting to bite my nails. I'm like, oh boy, like this could go wrong really quickly. And this is kind of where things get like spooky, right? So cooler goes ahead and does his thing. He quad supers. He could take a super with a Whis 100%. And then Janemba also has that additional damage reduction with guard after supering. He is safe. He is not going to take 600k from a super right here. We know that. But, you know, the important part is just trying to get as much damage in as we can right here. So I'm thinking, let's go ahead, do the Janemba Rage mode. Let's just go ahead and get that damage going. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, if it can butter him up to the point where we win this on this specific turn, that's all we need, right? Because ideally, I want to win by the time we get to Broly. Or by the time Broly's done his attacks, that's where I want. But Broly, you guys are going to see, he goes a little crazy right here. And I'll just kind of go ahead and let that play out when it goes. But Broly doesn't want to lose, right? I didn't check defense, but he doesn't want to lose. And, you know, you're seeing right here, like, this is just kind of that base Broly without the links, without the defensive buffs or whatever, and this active skill, you can see how much damage he's doing, right? Like 300k per normal. Obviously, this is without guard. This is without the artificial buffs that he gets from link partners and all that fun stuff, but it is just kind of funny to see how hard this Broly hits, right? Like, you've seen 300k per normal on a stage like ESBR. This is nothing new. So, again, these are crits. It's free damage. I'm thinking, hey, like, if Cooler does, like, 4 supers, we might be out of here, but he just does not do enough damage at that 55% level without all, like, the boosted crit. Maybe what I'll do is go back, instead of putting a level 5 additional on him, I might give him more crit. Because I think just he has enough innate additional built in to the point where it's like, if he triple supers and gives me 2 crits, that might be more valuable than him doing that 4th one. I don't know, though, because it's like, in 2022, I just feel like the meta with, like, every single unit is just to give them all additional, or to, like, dodge. Like, if they just have no utility, just give them dodge, right? But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't decided what I want to do yet, but here you guys are going to see we are coming up close to the end here, and this is where things are really, really, really scary, because I'm like, we don't have a Whis. There's a good chance if he supers Cooler, if he supers Broly, we're just dead, objectively speaking. Janemba's taking 64k per normal, so you already know I'm scared. It's like, there's no way Broly's going to survive if he takes a super, so at this point, we are in praying mode, you know, get the prages going and all that, but I am thinking, it's like, hey, if Cooler wants to do a crit or 2, it's like, hey, maybe we will just get done, because we are at 9 million attack stats with this Cooler, so, you know, that just goes to show you, like, just that damage reduction, the defense that he has. Like, a 9 million attack stat only does 1 million damage without the crit, and we're only doing like 400k damage per hit right here. And these attack stats are very respectable, right? Like a 55% unit doing 6 million on a 12 key super, that's super, super good. But it only does 800k. Cooler's taking 65k per normal. I'm thinking at this point we are cooked. And then Broly decides it's my time. He doesn't get the kill, by the way, spoiler alert, but this is where you can see Broly at his best. That's one super. Here comes the second. Again, I'm just hoping like crit, 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 crit. Because if he does crits right here, we're good, right? Like, because if he crits 3 times right here, we're probably out. But unfortunately, he does not crit. But that's the third super right here. This is without the active skill. So if we had had the active skill, we definitely would have won right here. But boom, and then no crit right there. And the fourth super. So there's a quad super from Broly. Like I said, he did not want to lose. And if you guys don't know anything about Metal Cooler, you're about to find out why Metal Cooler is so valuable. Broly's taking double digits after that quad super. So boom, boom, boom. And guess who comes to save the day? AGL Metal Cooler. And now here is where his utility is in full swing. My boy decided, I'm going Metal Cooler Core. I'm winning you this event. It's over. At this point, all hands are off. I'm on cruise control, clicking the orbs, getting the supers, and we are out of here. Because Broly don't have much health left. So, funny enough, I do think it takes 2 supers to kill him. I don't think the first one kills. Like, even look at that. Like, 2 million, that's not enough to kill this, like, little sliver of HP he has left. I think. Yeah, so there you go. I take the screenshot. This is be like, hey, we got it. It's over. I won. No more extreme class in the Broly red zone. Yeah, 600k damage right there, type neutral. And then here is the finishing blow. Hopefully I don't have to revisit Broly anytime soon. I don't really like playing this stage, but that is all of the missions done. I think I did the super class one. I might have done, oh, I did the 8 turns one. So maybe I'll just do this one instead. But yeah, that was the extreme class all types mission for Red Zone Broly. Let me know what you guys think. Have you been able to do it or not? Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. I'm out.